So here I have the pleasure to introduce Daniel Gilsdorf. Daniel is the VP of Sales for Screen Printing at Sefar, and today he will tell us about screen considerations for fine line screen printing. And this looks perfect, dear Dan. So with that, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'll touch a little bit on piggyback a little bit on what Peter was saying, and one of the things is, why screen printing? Why should we look at screen printing for a deposition method? And there's a number of different things that you can look at from a screen printing standpoint, but the main one is that you have a very wide variety of deposits that you can reach with screen printing. And most of that is based on the screen. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. You can have a very low cost startup if you want to prove feasibility. You don't have to buy a bunch of expensive equipment. You could do it very low in a very low tech rudimentary way. You can get pastes or inks that really stick on anything. So the variety of materials out there really allow you to adhere an ink film to virtually any substrate. And then once you scale up, you certainly have some consistency in your deposition. Once things are dialed in and you ramp up into your production cycle, and you have decent times. I mean, it's not super fast like offset, but it's not slow like some of the non-touch processes out there. So screen printing gives you a lot of benefits from a deposition standpoint. So recently, if we take it through a timeline of the industry, let's say, getting pushed for finer and finer elements, achievable elements to be able to print. In 2005, we were right around 150 microns, using 400 mesh with an 18 micron wire diameter. And if you asked most screen printers in 2005, would we be printing sub 20 micron features, in 10 to 15 years, you would have been laughed at. I mean, it's just, nobody thought that was, people were struggling with 100, 150, let alone, going down to the really fine stuff. So anyways, in probably roughly 2010, the solar industry really kicked off, and they were the ones, I would say, that really pushed fine line further than anybody else at that time. And so the mesh suppliers started coming out with finer wires, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of the advancements that helped get us there. But you can see that the open area, it jumped up to about 60%, which when you're printing fine line, you need open area and you need a high mesh count to get your resolution. So really a lot of the things that pushed it on, we'll get into a little bit, some of them, but like 2010, we were at about 100 microns. 2015, it jumped down to 70. 2018, down to 40, and those are really production line widths or feature sizes that were being done. And a lot of it had to do with the mesh and emulsion and other screen building technologies that went along the case. So today we're under 20, and the meshes we're using are very high mesh count. These are all stainless steel wire screens or mesh that's being used, wire cloth. And you're down to like 13 micron wire diameters, which is about a tenth of a human hair roughly. So really the industry was the one that really drove the advancement, or pushed the suppliers to be able to go smaller and smaller and smaller, and that's been going on and continues to go on. So as I said, screen printing is a very versatile deposition method, and you can see on the top chart here I showed really the coarsest and the finest mesh specifications that you can use. So we go from 30 threads per inch all the way up to 730, and I just want to show you the range of deposit that you can achieve using screen printing, specifically with wire in this case. The diameters go from almost about 400 microns to